What inspired you to create a classical piece based on Louis MacNeice's poetry?
What inspired me to create a classical piece was just the era that it was. It was in like the era of World War II, and in my imagination, warped as it may be, I just imagine it was all classical music because there wasn't that sense of like pop music as we call it today. That wasn't really in existence then, innit? And so I just when I was reading his piece, it was a classical music that was going on in my head.
Which specific poems by MacNeice did you choose to focus on and why?
Okay, so initially I was gonna do like sunlight. Was it what is it called? Sunlight on a garden or something like that, and the journal something. I can't exactly remember the exact titles right now, but I was gonna do those two. I was gonna concentrate on one of them two, and then I saw Prayer Before Birth, and so Prayer Before Birth just it was like a bell kind of thing. It just resonated when I heard it, and yeah, so I just thought, yeah, this is the one.
Okay.
I am not yet born. Oh, hear me. Let not the blood-sucking bat, or the rat, or the stoat, or the club-footed ghoul come near me.
How did you go about translating the themes and emotions of the poetry into your music?
Um, his theme, basically, it's just like it's just like prayer before birth in it. So he was hoping and wishing for a better life and a life where he's not being like you know what I mean, scourged or you know oppressed or anything like that. And it's so funny because at that time I was just reading a book by Michael Newton, and that book was called The Journey of Souls. And that book was talking about where we all go, you know, before life and after life. It was kind of like, and you know, the stages of in between life kind of thing where we are. And so when I was reading that book, that really resonated with me. And then I saw the Louis MacNeice poem, Prayer Before Birth, and I was like, this has got to be a coincidence. And you know what I mean? Coincidences are just synchronicities, really, kind of thing. And I thought, okay, then cool, that's what this means. I'm supposed to be doing this poem because I've just been reading about this basically in the MacNeice in the Newton book. Sorry.
Describe your process for composing the music. Did you start with lyrics, melody, or a particular concept?
I started. The first thing that I heard actually was the cello. The cello. I think Kenne Sheku Mason is who made me fall in love with the cello really and truly, and the way he plays and his facial expressions when he's playing. That I wanted a piece of that in. I wanted to make something like that kind of thing, like for someone like him to play. But obviously I'm just like poor from Birmingham, can't afford no Sheku Kenne Mason, hello. And so I reached out to some people, but the process was I heard first the cello, because I don't know, it just seemed because you know, prayer before birth, you're a fetus, in it, yeah, and so you're in the mother's womb, and so I just heard the cello being played, you know.
What instruments did you choose for the piece, and how do they contribute to the overall feel of the music?
The instruments I chose were I wanted a whole orchestral feel. So the cello is the one that leads it kind of thing because it speaks. Like the cello is almost like the one that's guiding the whole of the music. And so I wanted everything based around the cello. So I started with the cello, and then I put some keys on it, done by Rich Jones. And the cello, by the way, was done by Leonie Adams, kind of thing. This lady that I found in the music shop in Moseley, where I live. And then after we'd done the cello part, and then we put the keys on, I was like, this needs to be built more. And so I started experimenting with all the VSTs kind of thing, like, you know, the virtual instruments. And they weren't sounding like how I wanted them to sound. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Contact and Native Instruments, they have a really wide range of actually quite nicely recorded VSTs. However, when it came to like the strings and the violin or even the cello, for example, there was no depth. I'm just gonna get your levels. Is this too loud? And so I needed the liveness kind of thing. So we started with the cello, then the keys, and then I put some trumpets on it kind of thing. And then I went into the violin. Cheers. And then there's a part in the track kind of thing. It's like almost like a bridge. And I was like, this part, I want it to be more contemporary. So that's when I invited a like brilliant guitarist that I know kind of thing, BJB, who came and did like a kind of Spanishy kind of guitar on that on the bridge part. And I tell you that it just gelled the whole thing together. And then I just started building up kind of thing and added like clarinet, oboe, the flute, and what else did I have in there? I can just actually have a look. And the horn section, basically. And that was it. And then, yeah, obviously the timps as well, kind of thing, the kettle drums. I wanted, the kettle drums represent like the drama of it all kind of thing, you know, like I'm saying, like it was based in like, he set it in World War II, or he wrote it when World War II was going on. And so at the same time, I'm thinking of bombs going off kind of thing, and I'm thinking of crashes and bangs and stuff kind of thing while he's there in his little cupboard writing this piece. And so I wanted that to be reflected in the piece as well kind of thing. And so I invited Julian Powell, who's a brilliant kettle drum or timpani player, and he came in and did his thing, and yeah, sounds good.
Nice. What challenges did you encounter while creating this musical piece, and how did you overcome them?
Ooh. I think the main challenge was money. Everybody costs money kind of thing, and so I had to find ways, because ideally I would have loved to have recorded like a string quartet kind of thing instead of using the VSTs. I would have loved to have used like 3 horns, like a trombone, a trumpet, and like, you know, another kind of French horn or something like that. However, like when I was researching and how much these people cost, god damn, like, I would have been looking at about, I don't know, 2,000, maybe 3,000 pounds kind of thing, just to record timps and just to record like the different parts. And so I needed to think of ways to, because, you know, I'm Taurus and I'm very frugal. So I improvised, you know, and how I overcame them was improvising. I got everybody to record their parts 3 times. For example, when the violin player came in, he's Pete Hartley, brilliant guy. He recorded his part, and then I asked him to do the harmony to it, and then the 3rd harmony, so we kind of stacked it kind of thing. So each person is doing 3 parts. The trumpet player, who is Ray Butcher, brilliant jazz musician, he came in and he did the trumpets and the horn section, and he came in with both his trumpet and a flugelhorn, and oh my god, when I tell you that the both of them together kind of thing on it was just, I was just taken aback. And so that's how I really got over the stumbling blocks of cost, really, kind of thing. Because now, instead of paying like 3 or 4 people to do the same, like the harmony that I wanted, I just paid the person once, and he came in and did the parts 3 times.
Were there any musical influences or other artists that inspired your composition?
Yes, there were. When I was actually studying my masters, one of the things that I did to concentrate, because my mind is just so racy, is I played a lot of classical music while I was doing my like dissertations and stuff. And one of the people I was playing one time, it was playing through my through YouTube, but it was just a YouTube playlist, and this track came on. It was called Ballad by Luke Faulkner. and I was like, fuck, like this piece is amazing. I literally actually had to reach out to Luke to say congratulations on this piece kind of thing, because it touched my soul. And so yeah, he's very much an inspiration. The MacNeices, like I mentioned before, they're definitely an inspiration because of the way Sheku plays kind of thing, and Isata on the keys, the piano. I really respect them kind of thing, and so those two were basically like the MacNeices and Luke Faulkner were my main inspirations.
How do you hope listeners will connect with your music and MacNeice's poetry?
How do I hope listeners will connect? I don't know. I never know how people will connect to a piece kind of thing. Like, this is the first classical piece I've ever actually composed. I come from an R&B and soul background, and so when I was singing, the way I would connect with the audience was literally just looking them in the eye, connecting with them, going up to them kind of thing, singing in their ear, do you know what I mean, with the microphone being cheeky and stuff like that. That's how I would connect with the audience. But as a producer, it's really difficult to determine how a person's going to engage with the actual piece. I hope they connect and it touches them kind of thing, you know, just like how the piece itself touched me. But as for how I hope they're going to connect, I have no idea.
How do you view MacNeice's poetry in the context of his time, and how is that reflected in your music?
How I view his poetry, like I mentioned before, kind of thing, like he was existing, or his poetry was coming out around World War II times. And so how it's reflected in this piece is, like I said, kind of thing, like it was all drama really and truly kind of thing. There was a war going on, and I imagine him being in his studio in his writing place kind of thing, just writing with the backdrop of bombs going off kind of thing, or of a church blowing up, or do you know what I mean, someone in his family getting injured, or someone from his friends dying and stuff kind of thing. And so I wanted the piece to basically really reflect that time, and so like I said, I put in the kettle drums kind of thing because I wanted that drama. They represent like the bombs going off in the background kind of thing, and then the crashes, they represent when he says like water kind of thing, you know, in one of the verses. So yeah, that's basically how I came up with the concept and how I placed it in the backdrop kind of thing.
Can you share any behind the scenes moments or anecdotes from your creative process?
So yeah, a piece of information. So basically, the piece was meant to be an interpretation, yeah, kind of thing. So it was never meant for any vocals on there. And so at the time when I was doing the research kind of thing, I found on YouTube this guy called Ralph Cotterill, who is an English-born actor, but he went over to Australia and made his acting success. And on YouTube, there's a video. It's just literally of Cotterill reciting the poetry. However, whoever's uploaded it on YouTube, the train clicking noise that you did was terrible. Yeah, I had to clean that so much kind of thing. Like, you don't understand. Like when you're using like stuff like Clarity by Waves, or Isotope by D-Noise and D-Click and stuff like that from Isotope, you're adding artifacts to the sound. And so I really had to go through, and with the help of Tony Biggs kind of thing, who's mastered the track kind of thing. Thanks, Biggs, you are... we had to clean it really like surgically, so much so that there's I feared that some of the words were going to be actually cut out and stuff kind of thing, but they weren't. And so when I got when I got it back into the track, actually the spoken word piece, because I wanted the spoken word to be in there, because I thought it was so... I thought they merged together really well, kind of thing. Just like to have the audio of the poetry going on with the music. I really wanted that, and so cleaning that audio, it was a nightmare. So yeah, I suppose that's a bit of behind the scenes anecdote thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's very difficult to clean it, basically.
Are there any other poets or themes you would like to explore in future compositions?
Yeah. Yeah, there are. However, I haven't like really thought about it too much, kind of thing, because I'm literally kind of like I've got like, what are those things called? Like the blinkers on, or whenever I'm doing a project, I can only see that project, kind of thing. And so because I haven't finished with this project yet, I can't actually see beyond it. It's crazy. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I do. I do want to work with other poets in the future, and I do want to create other classical pieces of music if I can, to fit with their poetry.
How can viewers engage with or support your work now that your piece is complete?
Go there on the YouTube. Go on the Louis MacNeice website. It will be there. Go on my YouTube, Durham Records. Go on my other YouTube, Christof Jennings. Go on my website, durhamrecords.ca. Yeah, you can find it all over social media, really, kind of thing, because I'm going to be posting about it in the next few weeks, as one must.
I am not yet born. Oh, hear me. Let not the blood-sucking bat, or the rat, or the stoat, or the club-footed ghoul come near me. I am not yet born. Console me. I fear that the human race may with tall walls wall me, with strong drugs dope me, with wise lies lure me, on black racks rack me, in blood baths roll me. I am not yet born. Provide me with water to dandle me, grass to grow for me, trees to talk to me, sky to sing to me, birds and a white light in the back of my mind to guide me. I am not yet born. Forgive me for the sins that in me the world shall commit. My words when they speak me, my thoughts when they think me, my treason engendered by traitors beyond me, my life when they murder by means of my hands, my death when they live me. I am not yet born. Rehearse me in the parts I must play, and the cues I must take when old men lecture me, bureaucrats hector me, mountains frown at me, lovers laugh at me, the white waves call me to folly, and the desert calls me to doom, and the beggar refuses my gift, and my children curse me. I am not yet born. Oh, hear me, let not the man who is beast or thinks he is God come near me. I am not yet born. Oh, fill me with strength against those who would freeze my humanity, would dragoon me into a lethal automaton, would make me a cog in a machine, a thing with one face, a thing, and against all those who would dissipate my entirety, would blow me like thistledown, hither and thither, hither and thither, like water, held in the hands would spill me. Let them not make me a stone, and let them not spill me. Otherwise, kill me.